just say one thing before I get into the remarks that I'm going to give you in terms of the Pope's encyclical. I want to just acknowledge Father Terry Johnson, because, there aren't many parishes where the doors would be open for events like this the way they are here in Park Forest. And it's not the only element of social consciousness that Father Terry has been responsible for since becoming our pastor. We have a food pantry that serves like 400 needy families every month. Now, I can remember a time in Park Forest when if you said there were 400 needy families, people would look at you with a little skepticism. The times have changed. Circumstances have changed. And so our parish does that. It handles this food pantry because of his direction. It also participates in the PADS program. It provides housing for the homeless. We also have a community garden where residents participate, and the materials that are raised in that community garden then go into the food pantry. And so there's so many things that are happening. And so I just want to acknowledge Father Terry because I think it's important that we have our doors open for social programs such as this. And this is not the first. We've had a program on DACA, we've had a program on gun violence, we've had a program on food sources. So now today we're talking about something that I think is kind of a connector of all of them, and that's the importance of the environment. I want to just deliver a few remarks to you about the encyclical of Pope Francis, Laudato Si. The encyclical letter of Pope Francis admonishes the Earth's residents to give greater attention to what he calls the care of our common home. The encyclical's title comes from the poetic prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. Laudato Si, mi Signore. The Pope's namesake prayed that. He said, "Praise to you, my Lord." But the most meaningful portion of the prayer that the Pope quotes in the encyclical comes from the words that the saint used following that salutation. "Praise be to you, my Lord, through our sister, Mother Earth, who sustains, governs us, and who produces various fruit with colored flowers and herbs." That prayer inspired the Pope to write, "This sister now cries out because of the harm we have inflicted on her by our irresponsible use and abuse of the goods which God has endowed her with. We have come to see ourselves as the lords and masters, entitled to plunder her at will." Those are powerful words, but the pontiff uses them because he views the disregard of our planet as a spiritual sickness, a sickness that has despoiled Sister Earth, as he says, in the soil, in the water, in the air, and in all forms of life. The Pope concludes, this is why the earth herself, burdened and laid waste, is among the most abandoned and maltreated of the poor. He quotes the epistle to the Romans in stating that Sister Earth groans in travail. He says, we have forgotten that we ourselves are dust of the earth. Our very bodies are made up of her elements. We breathe her air, and we receive life and refreshment from her waters. Further in the encyclical, Pope Francis makes reference to the poor in a more direct way than simply as a metaphor for our abused earth. In chapter 1, for example, he specifically references global inequality. And he points to studies that show that the ecological ills affect the poor more so than they do any others. Inequality affects not only individuals but entire countries, the Pope says. It compels us to consider an ethics of international relations. A true ecological debt exists. That debt comes from the way in which the richer nations have depleted the natural reserves of poorer countries in order to gain economically. Drawing a distinction between both the ecological and economic differences of northern hemisphere countries from those of the southern hemisphere, the Pope says, the export of raw materials to satisfy markets in the industrialized north has caused harm locally. He speaks of the depletion of fishing reserves in poor countries, the higher levels of water pollution caused by industrialization. He points out that rises in the sea level mainly affect impoverished coastal populations who have nowhere else to go. The poor are the hardest hit by climate change, the Pope says, and, quoting him, they are the majority of the planet's population, billions of people. In total, the encyclical contains 6 chapters. The first chapter, what is happening to our common home, covers much of the environmental problems that we face today. The second chapter, the Gospel of Creation, creates a spiritual context in which we, as citizens of the earth, are given a sense of how we face a moral obligation to protect our natural heritage. Chapter 3, Human Roots of the Ecological Crisis, presents something of a history of how humankind's behavior has created the problems that we face today. Chapter 4, Encyclical Ecology, addresses the issue of the integration of care for the environment with economic matters, cultural matters, communal matters, etc. The 5th chapter, Lines of Approach and Action, begins a series of recommendations from the planet on how we can begin the process of healing the Earth's many wounds. Chapter 6, Ecological Education and Spirituality, then lays out what each of us must do in order to fully play the role of co-creator that God has entrusted to the whole of humankind. The Pope begins the final chapter of the encyclical with this admonition: many things have to change course, but it is we human beings above all who need to change. We lack an awareness of our common origin, of our mutual belonging, and of a future to be shared with everyone. The basic awareness would enable the development of new convictions, attitudes, and known forms of life. A great cultural, spiritual, and educational challenge stands before us, and it will demand that we set out on a long path of renewal. It's that admonition that was the impetus for organizing this forum this afternoon. Some months ago, I read an article in Commonweal magazine that criticized the American Catholic hierarchy because it hasn't done a whole lot to follow the directives that the Pope put forth in Laudato Si. Columnist Rita Ferrone pointed to what has taken place among Catholics in the Philippines as an illustration of what the response should be. Catholics in the Philippines, she writes, more than anywhere else, have brought the encyclical to life and made it their own. Of course, Ms. Ferrone points out, the environmental conditions facing residents of the Philippines are so immense that church leaders there recognize the need to follow the Pope's urgings. Quote, they are on the front lines for rising sea levels and increased severity of storms. Each year, about 19 typhoons rise in their area, and 8 to 9 of these make landfall. Such storms can be immensely destructive. In 2013, she says, one of those typhoons took 6,300 Philippine lives. But haven't we seen weather changes here in the U.S. also as a result of climate change? Don't we see more flooding, increased tornadoes and hurricanes, dramatic changes in the day-to-day temperatures from yesterday to today? Isn't that really what Pope Francis is talking about in Laudato Si? That as citizens of the earth, we are obligated, just as much as the Filipinos are, to do something about the environmental circumstances that our past behaviors have caused? Hopefully today, here in this little community of Park Forest, we can become convinced that following the recommendations of Pope Francis is not a matter of choice. Rather, it is our obligation. Hopefully, those of us who are Catholics will lift our voices to demand that the higher take a stand in favor of protecting the creation of the God they purport to serve. Hopefully those of other religious denominations will carry a similar message to their church leaders. And hopefully all of us, believers and non-believers, will leave here today with the conviction to demand that our elected officials, municipal, state, national, recognize the crisis that is facing us and take the actions necessary to make amends for the worldwide harm that we as a people have caused. Hopefully, we will follow the guidance of Pope Francis as he lays it out in Laudato Si. And I just want to mention to you that Father Terry was kind enough to print this Reader's Guide to Laudato Si that we have copies of up here. So feel free to grab one after the program, and it gives you something of a detailed explanation of what the encyclopedia is all